All right, welcome back to the channel. Little update on our bunny rabbits. They're getting big, as you can see. Got the two does here and the buck over here. They really like their cages. They don't seem to mind at all. They got nice little cubbies to go back into. What's up, young lady? They're eating grass right now. I don't go through a whole lot of feed anymore because I was putting their feed in this little things here. They barely touch it because they like fresh grass. Now, word of caution, don't use grass clippings from your powered lawnmower. I've seen a better idea demonstrated by Dave Coble of Southern Prepper 1, his YouTube channel, where he used one of these things. It's a manual push mower, and all you really do is you just do like a 10 by 10 area and with a push mower, and then you rake it up and you can feed them directly that way. And I'll be honest with you, they absolutely love it. They will eat that, won't touch the other stuff until that's gone and has been gone. I really haven't been going through hardly any feed at all since I've been doing this. So really good idea, Dave. Thank you so much. Seen that video a couple years ago. I just didn't have the rabbits. So now that I do, there you go. Also, another idea for you. Below their cages, I've got these two bins. Some of that grass falls in there, as you can see, but all their droppings go in there. And then that, in turn, gets used on the gardens. And there's Monster again. All these gardens here. Of course, all this is corn. We have chickens as well, and I get quite a pile of chicken manure. We have about 25 chickens, plus the little chickies. So soon maybe 50, if they survive. So what we do with the chicken poo, because it's really hot, we don't like to put it directly on, is we make a compost tea. That's basically the formula for this is 1 bucket, a 5-gallon bucket, you put 1 shovel full of chicken poo, fill it up with water. This is 50 gallons usually, so just times that by 10. Or 2 full buckets of chicken manure to one of these. And you let it soak for a few days. And you can fill that up about 4 or 5 times before it wears out. And you're just basically using water at that point. But we put that on our raised beds. We put that on our other beds. So everything here before it was planted, we put rabbit poo and a little bit of chicken poo dry into the ground, right where we were going to plant the rows, below where the seeds would be, or below where the plants would be. And everything's doing fine. Onions are doing great. Tomato plants are doing wonderful. Squash is really popping. The pepper plants are doing okay. I think we could do a little better with our peppers. And I'm hoping they start taking off. Hasn't been really that hot lately. This is an unusual year for Tennessee. So I think this is the first week we've had more days in the 80s than not. It's been kind of cool, really cool, especially at night. More squash, some cucumbers, squash. And look at this. This is all potatoes. Thank you, Rural King. Rural King's potato display, I grabbed all 3 kinds. I grabbed about 10 pounds. And I planted it pretty heavy. But they're doing wonderful. They're healed up real good. Jean's been really doing a great job over here. Healing up the potatoes and keeping the weeds down on this end. Really excited to see this, because when I did potatoes the last time, I used seed potatoes from Tractor Supply and got really poor results in the same ground. And I even used store-bought potatoes and let it go to sprout, cut it in halves, and then planted it. I got okay results, probably a little worse than the Tractor Supply, but this is all from Rural King. I gotta say, I'm gonna do that again. Rural King's got my vote on this one as far as seed potatoes. This little area here is not planted yet. We're going to try to stagger our planting. I've got some seed starting trays with some grow lights. I had to switch gears because, as you know, we've got a greenhouse, but never used a greenhouse before, and I think it's a poor fit for my area. I live in Middle Tennessee. Even though this has been a cooler year and we've actually had somewhat of a spring, it goes from cold to hot real quick. And unless you have a way to keep this greenhouse warm in the cool evenings, the cold evenings, in the early spring or late winter, your plants won't make it. Daytime, no problem. It stays nice and toasty in there. But at night, if you don't have a heat source, you're losing your battle. So I'm hoping this fall it's going to be a little different for us. We actually get some use out of it. But right now, we're not using it. We're going to start seeds indoors, get them potted, and go that route. Something else, I think we did a video where we built these. The main ones are 4x8, and we got some connectors with some benches and seating on them. We mixed sawdust from the sawmill in with the soil. We actually dug up soil from the forested area. It's a lot richer soil, but because it's got so much sawdust in it, and there's less clay in that soil down there, that it doesn't hold water very good. And as you can see, our onions, that's garlic, this is onions, aren't doing all that great. They're starting to yellow. And those were planted at the same time. Those are exploding because that holds moisture better. There's a lot more clay in that soil. So the other plants are doing okay but struggling, like these beans here are struggling. It's a water issue. It's not that we don't water them frequently, it's it doesn't hold the water. And the ground, the sun has been really baking this. The soil is dry and crispy. You can probably see it right there. There's a little bit of dirt. You can see how dry it is. It's just crusty. Well, today I took a tarp into the woods and gathered a bunch of leaves. We're going to use it as mulch, and hopefully that'll help retain some of the surface moisture and help these plants get going a little better, because even the lettuce is suffering here. It's just a water issue. I don't think it's a nutrient issue, but just in case, we are using the compost tea every time we water to kind of help build the soil here. You can see my broccoli here is very suspect. Ain't doing much of anything. The fencing here is working. My chickens will go straight through this fencing normally. They go into and out of the sheep pen all the time. But they won't go into here because they have to step up to go in. I haven't had one single chicken go in here. So until they do, it's going to stay that way. I've got chicken wire. If I have to, I can wrap it around that to keep them out. The other thing is the wild bunnies. Really haven't had no issue with them. The wild bunnies have stayed out of my garden. They're here. I see them every day. They just haven't come up in the garden yet. So, I'm counting my blessings there. Alright, moving on. So, my one poor cherry tree that survived the sheep. In the last video I talked about how my sheep just went to town on my fruit trees. You can see what they did to the bottom there. This one made it. The other one did not. Which sucks because I was hoping for cherries this year next. And without two, I'm not going to get that. So, I got to take this up. They also got one of my apple trees. This one did not come back. So, it's going to have to get replaced. And actually, we're going to probably plant 3 of them in here in this space. There's plenty of room for 3 more. I'm going to put a couple more apple trees in. This Oh, sweet gum tree sprouted back up from the stump. I'm gonna have to take it out. Here's one of my apple trees, and it does have apples on it this year, so yay. It's our first year with apples. Best time to plant a fruit tree was 5 years ago, guys. It takes a while. You can see my apples here. Yeah. I'm hoping this tree's got quite a few on it. It's its first year, so I don't want it to have a big bunch. I'll probably prune them this fall, so next year I get a lot more. This one here has apples on it, quite a bit more apples actually. You can see up here, and I do have a little bit of a bug issue, I think, so I might do something about that. I'm going to turn that one, take that one off. There we go. And we'll just let that one go. Alright, so moving on down to the peach tree. The peach tree is heavy. It's loaded very heavy with a lot of peaches. So much so, in fact, that it's actually shedding peaches. You can see some there and there. Peach trees in May and June will typically shed a good portion of their... They'll overproduce and then shed some based on what the tree can handle. I'm kind of glad it's shedding because, as you can see, this thing's pretty tall. This peach tree must be sitting on a good spot for water because it was planted at the same time as the apples, and it's just enormous comparably. And it's only a few feet away. There's the apple tree I was just at, right there. These are all pawpaw trees in here, and I've got hundreds of pawpaw trees on the property. Most of them are young, scattered in the woods, and won't produce because they have to be like 8 or so years old. But these produce pretty much every year. I've seen them flower, so let's hope they produce. Last year the deer knocked down one of these trees. You can actually see some of the branches they broke trying to get the pawpaws. I guess they wanted them more than I did. And all the way up through here, we've got honeysuckle and blackberries. Well, raspberries actually. Wild raspberries all up through here. I've got some down here on this corner. And over on the other side of the sheep, you can see that row of that wall of trees there. There's pawpaw at the bottom of it, and there's berries at the bottom of it as well, and a mulberry tree. Now I know you can eat mulberry, I just haven't. I haven't tried it yet. That tree really produces, but it's a very big tree, so I really can't get to a lot of it. Just the low-hanging stuff. Let's see. Down over the hill here, and I'm not going to go that far, is a plum tree. It did something last year, but nothing this year, so I don't know. This is the pear tree. As of yet, I do not see any pears. I had a couple of pears last year try, but a frost got them. We had a late frost. I'm probably going to have to prune this one this year because just like the other tree, it's growing quite fast. I was hoping for some pears, but it did bloom. It just didn't do anything. So I don't know. It did get cold. Maybe the frost got it. But I didn't think it got that cold. But who knows? Nature. If you figure it out, you let me know. All right. Well, that's about it for the tour of the homestead today. Looks like my apple trees could use some water. It's supposed to rain all week, this coming week, so everything around here could really use it. I'm letting my grass get real tall so they don't brown it out. I'll probably cut it next weekend after all the rain. Ain't that right, bud? You paying attention, Oz? Good old Ozzy. Doing his job. Keep an eye on everybody, aren't you, bud? Where you going? Huh? Yeah? Come here. Yeah, he's a good boy. You are a good boy, aren't you, bud? Yeah. All right, well, I'll let you go. Y'all, thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one.